I'm thinking, as we're having this discussion, I'm thinking about 2 points that I would make about art education and the importance of it. I mean, that's such a broad topic, but the 2 things that come to mind have a lot to do with what I'm encountering with the Columbus Crossing Borders project, and that is, as we go into schools and visit with not only the teachers but with the student body, it's become increasingly clear to me that kids do need to have a voice, and art can provide that voice. I mean, certainly there's a lot of different disciplines that are available for people to advocate for the issues they feel passionate about or issues that they feel need to be addressed. And art can be one of the ways of doing that. I think art opens the doors for people to have a voice who may not feel comfortable standing in front of an audience, people who may not feel confident about their delivery, oftentimes can use art as that vehicle to get their point across, sometimes a lot more poignantly and dramatically than they may with the written word. Whether it's through video, whether it's through photography, whatever your media is, in my case as a painter. And I think through allowing that voice to happen, you can reach a very broad audience. One of the questions that I told you about that was brought up to me during our Columbus Crossing Borders visit at Watkins Memorial was a question that came from an audience member, one of the students, who said, how can we use art to affect politics? Well, my response, my knee-jerk reaction was we need to protect the art to make sure that can happen, because the art is going to oftentimes be the one thing that's going to fall by the wayside, whether it's through lack of funding, lack of support. Oftentimes it's the first thing to go when money is an issue. But once we protect those art, not only as far as feeding into those arts programs, but financially, but actually allowing people a voice without censorship, of getting their points across. And that way we can affect not only politics, but everything that you have to address in your society can be addressed through art, oftentimes in a much more intimate way and a much more immediate way than again, the vocal or written word. The other point that I want to make is that I think art's actually in the schools, in education, is so important, not only to promote critical thinking and right brain thinking, which is also equivocated to problem solving, but as a means of allowing students a forum, allowing students an opportunity to be inspired, to be moved, to be challenged, to think clearly and deeply. A lot of times I'll find that it's music, that it's film, that it's poetry, or that it's a very powerful painting that is going to allow the student, allow the body, the audience that is viewing whatever that artwork is, to address something in a new way. You know, when you think about a film such as Saving Private Ryan, which was, of course, it's the Hollywood version of that era during war, but it still is a very powerful component to allow people to think about and not glamorize war, and to look at it in a different way. Movies like Apocalypse Now, you know, those kinds of films that have served as milestones, they challenge people to think. They challenge people to look at things in a new way. By censoring that in the schools, by not allowing that to happen in the schools, you're taking away the freedom of voice, the freedom of thinking. So I think that, again, to address the freedom of the arts in the schools from the teacher's viewpoint, as far as using this as an actual teaching opportunity, to the funding for the arts, but also encouraging people to use the arts as their voice then I think, to me, it goes beyond the actual media of art. It's more about having our rights, or our so-called democracy that we live in, supporting our ability to think independently, to speak independently. And when those things start becoming threatened, whether it's on a school level, on a political level in your communities, that's when you have to start taking note, and we should never become complacent about that.